Hi, I'm Annie Weisbrod with the Shine Yoga Teachers Collective in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm coming to you today to talk about our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. I'm giving you this information not as a yoga teacher, although I am, but as a PhD in toxicology, and I run a large mind wellness program for a Fortune 100 company here in Cincinnati, Ohio. So what I'd like to start off doing is talking about the nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is part of our nerve function within the body. The autonomic portion means that we don't control it. We can influence it, but it's not something under our control. So the heart beating, the lungs breathing, those are examples of autonomic nervous system. We have two sides to the autonomic nervous system. We have the sympathetic nervous system, which governs basically our reactions under stressful conditions. So if you imagine back to when, let's say 10,000 years ago, and humans were off hunting or being hunted, we had conditions where we were getting our food or avoiding being killed by a bear, let's say. And so under those conditions, we would have to change how the body worked to run quickly, get away, hide, things like this. And so some of the emotions that happens and physiological consequences when the sympathetic nervous system is stimulated this is what we also call the fight, flight, freeze, and appease responses of the body. The hormone that circulates in your body at that time, your stress hormone, is cortisol, and you'll feel that flushing through the body. This is when we feel stress, anxiety, and panic. The other side, okay, we've escaped the bear, we've caught our dinner, we're with our friends and family members back at the campsite, and this is when the parasympathetic nervous system is what dominates, and it's also rest, digest, and relax functions of the body. So we're mildly alert, enjoying time with friends and family. We might feel lazy, and we certainly will go to sleep, and also digesting the food that we've consumed. The balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system is what's so critical, is that we do have an optimal state for optimal performance and optimal health. And we're trying to, as normal, go back and forth between the two, but come to some state briefly where we feel in balance. And this is the key thing in today's world, is that a lot of people are actually spending a lot more time on that sympathetic nervous system stimulation side and feeling stress, anxiety, or even panic, and making decisions, taking actions that reflect this feeling that we have in the body. So for us to have optimal health, especially under these exciting conditions, we want to find ways to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system more often to bring us back to this optimal state and be able to sleep, which is an absolute requirement for healthy physiology. I'm going to go over here and talk about an important nerve. So your 10th cranial nerve is called the vagus nerve. It starts up here at the base of the skull, so the medulla. There's two of them, comes on either side, the inside of the spine, and comes down to innervate through the face, the throat, the heart and lungs, and all of your digestive organs, so liver, stomach, small intestine, large intestine that sit here within the body. So main nerves, vagus nerve will come along the inside of the spine and come out and innervate into all of those important organs. So when we stimulate the vagus nerve, and there's different ways to do that, that then stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system and allows us this feeling of relaxation, of rest. We're able to digest, we're able to sleep, brings us back into that optimal state when we're feeling stressed. So there's some different things that you can do. I have a list here. You're welcome to go online and look up some other options, although I will warn you that some of the things online are not scientifically founded. So these ones do have a scientific study behind them, at least one, if not 20. And we want to do this activity, whatever it is, for 3 or more minutes. Regular practice is important. This isn't something that you just do once. With anything that we practice, we get better over time. So you want to have this be part of your healthy habits and keep practicing these different things every day, several times a week, and over time your body will adjust and those pathways will get quicker. So one of the things that we can do is stretch the spine. So as a demonstration, we're going to stretch the spine in 3 different planes of motion. This first plane, forward to back, is called the sagittal plane. So I'm moving my spine by rounding forward, right? Stretching the spine. In the sagittal plane, you can also go backward. So in yoga poses, we do different poses to be able to stretch the spine forward and back. We also want to stretch the spine side to side, so the frontal plane of motion. So this sort of angle where we're curving the spine over to my left, curving the spine over to my right, stretching the spine on the frontal plane. We also can stretch the spine by twisting, transverse plane or rotation of the spine from the bottom, lumbar, thoracic, cervical spine, we twist. So that's one of the first things you can do for 3 or more minutes is stretch your spine. Another thing we can do is deep breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing comes from the diaphragm. So if you place one hand on your upper chest and one hand at the bottom part of your rib cage, when you breathe, just breathe. And you'll feel one hand move more or first. We want, for normal breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, to feel this bottom hand moving much more or first. So we practice to breathe into this bottom hand, allowing the diaphragm to fill all of your lungs, not just the top lungs, which is what we use in a stressed response. The third one on here, you will remember from yoga classes, chanting, singing, anything that has a long exhale. You can also hum. With this idea is you stimulate the larynx, the voice box, again, which is connected to that vagus nerve, as well as having long exhales. So in yoga, a lot of the teachers will open a class with an om. We'd like to do this for 3 minutes, not just 1 or 2 ohms, but set your timer and do an om for 3 or 4 minutes. For example, it will go like this. Deep breath. Feel that resonance in the body, you feel yourself calming down. So if you don't want to set a timer, you can also just count and do 20 different om chants. This next one on here is meditation. What can we do to open the heart? I already have a class from last week on the heart itself and are focusing on the heart and feeling the heart and its beat and the space around it, that Anahata chakra. We can also practice with meditation. There's a type of meditation called metta, M-E-T-T-A, or loving kindness meditation. There's lots of good examples online that you can look up and practice loving kindness meditation, again, to take us through the mind thinking of those we truly care deeply for and opening the heart, whether it's someone close to us, a neutral person, or someone that's more challenging, but to open the heart in that way, and that will also stimulate the vagus nerve and calm us down, and in this case, provide better balance for our thinking. The last 2 we won't cover today, but include cold temperatures, cold water. A common one is to put water on the face, so maybe you put your head in a basin of cold water, come up, get air, come back down for 3 minutes, but that coldness on the face, on the throat could help. And of course, this last one here is having proper nutrition and a functioning microbiome. You can go online to the U.S. Health and Human Services Department, so one of the government agencies. Many scientists are involved with nutrition studies and epidemiology, working for multiple governments. The guidelines are consistent across countries about what is proper nutrition. You can look up myplate.gov for that. That's what we have today. Good luck with your practice. Please try a few of these things and continue to try for several months. Take care.